ho ho! Well, Thanksgiving is over, and I hope all of you stuffed yourselves appropriately. I'm dressed like Santa Claus because now it's the time when people start thinking about Christmas gifts. And so I'm here to provide a holiday gift guide for horror fans in 2020. Alright, let's have a look and see what's in Santa's bag. The first item we have is a very popular series of gifts, and those are the Funko Pops figurines. Now the only one I have is actually not from a horror film. This is Red Reddington from the TV show The Blacklist. However, there are plenty of horror options available for any horror fan. Many people collect tons of these, so they make excellent gifts because there are literally hundreds to choose from, so there's something that's perfect for whoever might be on your gift list. Now the next item we have is perfect for fans of Stephen King's The Shining, particularly the movie but also the book, and that is The Shining board game. This is a game for 3 to 5 players in which you play cooperatively and competitively to try to survive a winter at the Overlook Hotel. While we're discussing board games, one that I am particularly pleased to recommend is this, Trivial Pursuit Horror Ultimate Edition. And this is the classic Trivial Pursuit design, except all of the questions are based on horror, books, movies, games, and anything creepy. This is perfect for the horror fan who knows a lot about the genre, or the one who wants to learn more about the genre. It's a lot of fun to play, and the questions are legitimately quite good. And if video games are more your speed than board games, one that just came out is the newest addition to the Dark Pictures anthology called Little Hope. And this is a story of ghosts and the witch trials, and it's an excellent follow-up to the first volume of the Dark Pictures anthology, Man of Medan. While we're speaking of video games, among the hot ticket items for this holiday season are going to be the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. I couldn't get either one in pre-order, I'm keeping my eye out on the shops, but there are sure to be plenty of excellent horror games for both platforms, including several that have already been announced. Among those titles that have already been announced are Ghostwire Tokyo, Little Nightmares 2, Resident Evil Village, The Medium, and Dying Light 2. And since these are the first major new consoles in quite a while, there are sure to be plenty more new horror games over the coming years. So if you can get your hands on one, the Xbox or the PlayStation are both excellent gift ideas. I do recommend, however, that you don't spend the thousands of dollars that the scalpers are charging on eBay. Another gaming platform that's going to be popular is the Oculus Quest 2 virtual reality headset. Now, I don't have an Oculus Quest 2 yet, I still have this Oculus Quest 1, but as I'm going to be discussing in a future video, virtual reality offers a lot of opportunities for horror in terms of both film and gaming. The Oculus Quest 2 is just the latest in the development of these new technologies. No holiday is complete without good food, and there's no good food without good cookbooks. For horror fans, I particularly recommend this book, Feeding Hannibal, A Connoisseur's Cookbook by Janice Poon. The author of this cookbook designed the recipes for the Hannibal TV series, and those are the recipes included in this book. These are not recipes for everyone. Many of them use strange and exotic ingredients, but they are fascinating recipes and perfect for horror fans in general, and particularly for fans of Hannibal, the TV series. Of course, cookbooks aren't the only kinds of books, and in fact, any horror books make excellent Christmas gifts. Some of the best gifts include rare, limited edition, or first edition books, such as these. Now, I have tons, but some that I've chosen just as examples are my limited edition copy of Hole in the World by Brian Keene, and the now out-of-print paperback edition of Species by Michael McBride. These are both excellent books. These particular titles are likely to be hard to find, but hopefully this gives you an idea of the kinds of harder to find, limited edition, out of print, first edition, rare, interesting books that you can find. These make perfect gifts for the bibliophiles on your Christmas shopping list. However, of course, you don't need to limit yourself to rare, hard to find, or expensive books. There's a whole world of small press horror titles such as these that are much more readily available. Again, I have thousands of titles in my library, but ones that I've chosen as examples are Zombies and Calculus by Colin Adams. This is a book in which calculus students use what they're learning to help survive the zombie apocalypse. And Tales from the Crust, an anthology of pizza horror edited by David James Keaton and Max Booth III. This is a collection of short stories, all of which are horror stories prominently featuring pizza. And the horror small press is rich with silly books, serious books, scary books, quiet horror, extreme horror, any kind of horror that you could possibly want. You can definitely check out small press horror publishers to find almost limitless ideas for horror fans on your shopping list. In many ways, this entire year has been a year of horrors, and so what better gift than COVID-19, the coronavirus itself. This plush version comes from the Giant Microbes company, and this makes a whimsical yet somewhat horrifying stocking stuffer that's excellent for almost anyone, horror fan or not. While we're thinking of 2020 specific items, if somebody you know doesn't already have a horror-themed face mask, plenty of those are available on Amazon or on Etsy. These are some of the examples that I've been wearing. I have icons of horror, horror icons at the Last Supper, and the ever-popular Hannibal Lecter mask. With any luck, these will be obsolete within a few months, but within those few months, these still make great gifts that don't cost too much money and easily fit in a Christmas stocking. Speaking of masks, if you're looking for something a little bit more extravagant, one that I don't have here to show off is a wonderful Krampus mask from Stilt Beast Studios, which I will link down in the What's It. It's an excellent mask of Krampus, which is perfect for horror fans who are trying to get into the holiday season in a creepier, scarier sort of way. When we talked about books, of course we also need to talk about movies. One that I am happy to recommend is this one, I'm Dreaming of a White Doomsday. This is an ultra low budget film, but it's very good. I highly recommend it. Let me read the back to you. From writer-director Mike Lombardo and executive producer Brian Keene comes what East Coast horror group called the Gut Punch Holiday Film of the Year. White Doomsday is the story of Kelly Ink and her son Riley weathering the end times in a bomb shelter amongst the ruin that was once the world. With Christmas Eve approaching and supplies and hope steadily declining, Kelly must make a horrifying decision that will cause her to find out just how far she would go for her child. This is an excellent low-budget film, highly recommended. Again, I'll put a link down in the What's It. But that's not the only movie you could get. In fact, there are several excellent options that make perfect gifts if you're willing to spend a little bit more, including the Friday the 13th Blu-ray set. I don't have that to show off because I only have the individual films that I've collected over the years. There's also the 30 film collection of the Universal Monsters. It's not cheap, but it's perfect for any horror fan. And if you're not looking for something that you have to wrap up, of course, Shudder and Horror Pack subscriptions also make excellent gifts. The last item I'd like to recommend is for people who have a little bit higher budget, and I don't have an example to show off, but perhaps the ultimate gift for any horror fan is original horror art. And I'll put some resources down in the What's It to help you get started, but those are the kinds of gifts that anyone would be pleased to get. And there you have it, my holiday gift guide for 2020. Of course, there are thousands, maybe millions more items you could choose from, and many of them are wonderful, but this is just a handful of ideas to get you started. At this point, this beard is itchy as hell and I'm going to get out of this costume. So until next time, take care, stay scared.